later. All right, next up, we will hear how shifting from 1G to 2G biomass utilization will shape the future of biofuel in the Philippines. So let us welcome on stage Dr. Ian Dominic Tabanyag, S&T Fellows from DOST PC, PSHIRD rather. All right.
All right. A pleasant afternoon, everyone. My name is Ian, a proud DOST-SEI scholar, graduate from Region 7. Saan ba yung presentation ko? All right. I'm here today to share to you about how we shift from 1G, hindi ito cellphone, 1G, this means edible biomass, to 2G, non-edible biomass feedstocks for biofuels production, and how we go towards a circular bio-based economy as a nation. So, to start, let us look at the Philippines biofuels landscape. What you can notice is we source our biofuels from sugarcane and coconut. Specifically, bioethanol from sugarcane molasses and biodiesel from coconut oil. All right. The current scenario is that at E10, 10% blending of bioethanol, half of what we use now is currently being imported. All right? And at 2.5% blending of biodiesel, the local supply just barely keeps up with the demand. So this scenario leads to a problem of us being unable to fulfill our target biofuels blending mandates. All right? Now, we have to notice that policy is an enabler of research and development. And looking at the landscape of Philippines' biomass utilization policies, it provides no room for us to explore alternative feedstocks as it is quite feedstock specific. So what we are proposing as fellows in the council is for us to have that holistic policy framework that captures various types of biomass. First generation food, we dedicated to food for food security. Second generation agri-industrial residues, we dedicate it to processing. You can see the MMIC there, they're also in this endeavor. We also have third generation feedstocks, macro algae, part of utilizing our blue economy. All right? We want this policy framework for us to achieve a circular bio-based economy and in relation to these sustainable development goals. Food, energy, water, life underwater, climate action, responsible production and consumption. All right. Since I've mentioned that policy is an enabler of research and development, we have contributed to two emerging issues in our legislation. One is the problem of the sugar supply. We put in a position that we can get sugar out of molasses or spent molasses using membrane technologies. At least we can augment the sugar supply from waste, wealth creation from waste. The next issue is that our legislators want to suspend biofuels blending. Bakit daw? Kasi nagmamahal yung biofuels pag i-blend mo siya sa gasoline or diesel. But our position in this matter is that we have to craft policies such that we can go research alternative feedstocks. Feedstock specific tayo ngayon. And we maintain that if you suspend biofuels blending for 3 years, you are releasing enormous amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, tantamount to throwing away 29 billion bottles of nature spring water. All right? Aside from these legislations, I'm also thankful for the chemical engineers in the sugarcane and bioethanol industries, for they are very supportive of the stakeholder engagements that we did, along with the Professional Regulatory Board of Chemical Engineering, because we tagged along during the PRB visits in Region 6 last year. Aside from providing technical inputs to legislation, we also have crafted a roadmap for achieving a circular bio-based economy. So we have to acknowledge that these roadmaps cannot, or this roadmap rather, cannot be achieved without the help of our local and international stakeholders. The idea of this roadmap is we use industrial biotechnology to have zero waste processes or approaches to valorize or create or generate value-added products from biomass. So first generation, specific for food. Second and third generation, we convert it to pharmaceuticals, nutraceuticals, biofuels, and even kung wala ka na talagang ma-exhaust sa biomass, sunugin mo for waste to energy. Zero waste approach. And this roadmap would not be crafted without also the knowledge and experience of our ASEAN neighbors. For example, Indonesia and Malaysia are in collaborative efforts for that 3B approach: bio conversion, bioprocessing, and biorefining. Our neighbors in Thailand also have that grand national strategy of a biocircular green economy. Although Philippines does not have that grand national strategy, but we have strategized ourselves to recognize that food, energy, and water, or that nexus of food, energy, and water, is crucial to the sustainability of the Filipino people. And in the next few slides, I will share to you our efforts in the OST PSURD, along with our PSURD fellows, on achieving activities or initiatives related to food, energy, and water. So in Metro Manila, we partnered with PUP and Renergy Systems to improve the process of producing electricity from waste cooking oil. So what we want to improve here is that kung ano pa yung waste ng process na yan, gawin nating oleo products such as soap, candles, and whatsoever. Moving forward to Region 5, we engage with institutions doing research on queen pineapple and pili. Kasi maraming pili dun sa Region 5. So we try to look at circular approaches, how to make zero waste from them. I'm also not familiar with what pili is because I'm not from Bicol. So it's a very interesting process value chain. We went to Region 6, ito marami akong kakilala dito, especially in Sagay Central, to valorize sugarcane industry wastes. So what I told you earlier, molasses, hindi na siya basta-basta waste lang. You can derive lots of sugars from it. Alright? Even sucrose, pwede pa siyang i-augment sa sugar supply. We went to Region 7 to kickstart what we call the Mana Cinnamon or the Cebu Mana Cinnamon industry in collaboration with Cebu LGU and Cebu Normal University. Lastly, we went to Region 10 to help people there or budding institutions, new partner institutions, craft proposals for funding, submission to the OSTP. And since I've talked about value creation, food, and energy, I'm also going to move forward to another aspect, which is on the water security. In our locality, we tried to address the water problem in Cebu. So we actively participated in the first Cebu Summit by crafting the summit synthesis paper that was later used by local legislators to implement an executive order for the water security of Metro Cebu. Moving forward in water aspect also, related to marine litter. We became part of the Plastics Research Network Philippines that was launched last year. And the goal is to harmonize efforts in, looking at national marine litter baselining. And the efforts in national marine litter baselining is somewhat aligned to what we have found out, that marine environmental protection is the top priority of the Philippine Maritime Research and Development Agenda, and that digital transformation plays an important role in marine environmental protection. In the aspect also of wealth protection, we have engaged with the Philippine Coast Guard in light of that recent Mindoro oil spill incident. We provided technical assistance in terms of the oil spill identification and characterization. Also, we have ongoing engagements on how PCG would later on do science and technology intervention in the aspects of prevention, preparedness, response and recovery framework for oil spills, with the goal of enhancing the National Oil Spill Contingency Plan. And as scholars, we have ramped up our research collaborations in the aspects of renewable energy, marine litter baselining, responsible mining, with the goal of providing baseline documents to policymakers for these thematic areas. And last but not the least, I'd like to leave this message that we start to address our biofuels problem as an energy problem. But the way we address it is that we make it an opportunity for us to go towards that circular bio-based economy. All right? And with that, thank you for listening and have a great day. And I would like to thank these institutions who have been helpful during our stakeholder engagements. So thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you, Dr. Tabanyag, for that thought-provoking discussion. Hopefully, you also have engaged in your initiatives on Queen Pineapple and Pili. We have niche centers there in Camarines Norte State College and Bicol University, and also MSU Iligan for the sustainable polymers. We have also niche center. So